Hi there, everyone. Today we're going to have a look at a Minecraft education esports game for player versus player. Okay, so this world here is called, for all intents and purposes, Gold Rush. It is a combination of two Minecraft games merged together into one. The very first one is where the original map comes from, and concept is by XI Suma 2, who built and designed the ideas around this game and the maps around this game, which is available for Bedrock and for Java, but not for Education Edition. So we have then taken the second game, which is Gold Rush as well, by Minecraft Education themselves in the Build Challenge games, and basically merged the two together to bring you this version. So it is a little bit different from each other. Same principles, same ideas, same fundamentals, except we've kind of rewritten it so that it will work in Education Edition. Okay, so first things first, when the game starts, players will spawn here inside of this space. Now, this is a 5 versus 5 player game. You can have less, of course, but always recommend that you have the same amount of players. However, you will need 11 people to play the game because you will need a host as well. However, it is quite simple. You are either on the green team or you are on the yellow team. So if you're allocated to the yellow team, you simply walk into the yellow space, stand, make sure you don't jump, and you wait for the game to begin. Once each player is in their space, that allows the operator of the game to start. Now, heading just outside that space there, which is where everyone is allocated, is where the operator will move to. And using from the Minecraft esports games, their giant signboards, which are highly useful, is where we're going to set the time. Now, the default time is set to 8 minutes. However, you can come here and add or minus time or reset it as you please. This is also where the host will choose to start the game, and that will send each of the players to their bases. So here is the green base, which either you will go to when you play this game, and it is made up of a couple of different sections. There is a chest right here, which is full of just some basic leather armor, except for a chest plate. And the reason that we do that is that if you are on the green team, wear a green type colored skin, and vice versa, if you're on the yellow, wear something that is predominantly yellow as well. But that is up to your operator to ensure that everyone is doing that. This chest does refill, so it will always have some sort of armor in it. At the back of each base are 5 beds, and so you can choose to reset your spawn position by jumping on and sleeping at one of these beds. If you choose not to sleep on a bed, you will spawn roughly here in about the middle of the game, slightly off center. That is totally up to you which one you choose. Different strategies for different types of gameplay. Now, you may have noticed that there are a series of towers standing up in the game, and we will explain both of them. So, the very first one that we're going to have a look at are the emerald or the green towers. So, standing at the bottom of an emerald or green tower, you will notice the experience XP orbs, and the game is played in survival mode. So, as I stand closer to them, you will notice that you will naturally absorb them, and that will push up your XP experience points. Now, what can I do with those XP experience points? Well, you can spend them. Along this wall here are a series of different items that you can exchange them from crossbows to different potions or elixirs to different fighting weapons or food as well. So, for example, here I currently am holding 40 experience points, and when I move to select for a crossbow, it will take 19 off my total. Again, if I want an apple, which is 2, I'm currently on 21. And so when I select that to get an apple, it will drop me down to 19. The second group of towers are the gold towers, and you can see here that some have more blocks on top of them than others, and this just symbolizes the speed at which they run. The reason for that is because there are zombie pigmen falling from the towers at different speeds or different rates. Now, the main aim of the game is to make and deposit as many gold blocks as you can. So, walking up to where the zombie pigmen are falling and attacking the zombie pigmen will cause them to fall down and no longer exist. And as that happens, they will drop their loot. And so, if you know a bit about the game, you will know that they will drop things like their flesh, they will drop their gold swords, but they will also drop, as we can see them, gold nuggets. And if you're lucky, you will also get gold ingots. The trick of the game, however, is that the little ones located there at the back start to get angry when you attack, so they will also attack you. And you have the added complexity of other players also trying to get as much loot as possible. Once you think you have enough, you want to make your way over to the crafting table area. Here, you can take your gold nuggets and craft them into a gold ingot, and then you can take your gold ingots and craft them into what you ultimately need, which is a block of gold. Once you have that block of gold, you want to race back to your base, place the gold block down here. The game will then register that you have deposited a gold block, and you will score a point for your team. Once the time is up, the team with the highest score wins. However, in the case of a tie, we ask students to step away from their devices and allow the adjudicators or the host to then count how much XP points each team member is holding. The team with the greatest number of XP points at the end of the game will win in the case of a tie. This is a game of skill, speed, and strategy, but most of all, it takes teamwork to win. We hope that you enjoy playing this, and we will see you again soon. Cheers.